ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So okay, in the previous class we discussed about distance, displacement and examples. Again some more examples here we have. Now for example, if the person completes 1/4 of the circle, if the person completes 1/4 of the circle, 1/4 of the circle, so that means this is the 1/4 of the circle. One quarter of the circle. This is radius and it is also radius, and here the angle is 90 degrees or pi by 2 radian. Angle is 90 degrees or pi by 2 radian. Here if the person completes 1/4 of the circle, in this situation what is the distance and what is the displacement? In this situation what is the distance? So here we have to find out distance. Distance is nothing but total path followed. So from this position to this position, this is the total path followed by the body. This is A and this is B. Let us say the total path followed by the body, the circumference of the one quadrant of the circle. What is the circumference of the total circle? 2 pi r. So the totals, that is the distance is equals to, here circumference of the total circle is 2 pi r, circumference of the half circle is 2 pi r by 2. So generally let us say it is the circle, it consists of 4 quadrants. This is one quadrant, 4 quadrants. The total circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. The total circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. And what is the circumference of the one quadrant of the circle? One quadrant of the circle, this much. So that is, how many quadrants here? 4 quadrants. That is 2 pi r by 4. That is pi r by 2. This is the distance. The total path followed from initial point to final point, that is called distance. That is total circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So 4 quadrants combine to form the circle. 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 quadrants combine to form the circle. The total circumference is 2 pi r. Now we have to calculate length of the one quadrant. This one quadrant. That is, how many quadrants we are? 4 quadrants. That is 2 pi r by 4, that is pi r by 2. Then what is the displacement here? It's a displacement. So displacement means the shortest path between initial point and final point. This is the displacement in a particular direction. Shortest path between initial point and final point in a particular direction, A to B. This is the displacement. According to, so this forms a right angle triangle. See here, this forms a right angle triangle. So these two sides are same and this is the hypotenuse. So the displacement is nothing but, here the displacement is equals to hypotenuse. From Pythagoras theorem we can write hypotenuse is equals to square root of opposite side square plus adjacent side square, that is r square plus r square, that is root of 2r square root 2r. That is the displacement. Displacement is nothing but the shortest path between initial point and final point. This is r and this is also r, and this is the shortest path. This is the shortest path. That's why the displacement is nothing but the hypotenuse according to Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse is equals to under root of opposite side square plus adjacent side square, under root of r square plus r square, that is 2r square, that is equals to root 2r. The value of root 2 is 1.414. If you want to simplify one more, that is 1.414 r. So this is the distance and the displacement. Next. One more example to calculate the distance and displacement. For example, I am considering the small arc. This arc subtends an angle theta here. So it is a small arc. This small arc subtends an angle theta at the center. Then in this situation, how can you calculate the distance and how can you calculate the displacement? So this arc length is called the distance. Arc length is called the distance. Let us say it is A to B. AB is an arc. It is an arc which subtends an angle theta at the center. So now, how can you calculate the distance and the displacement here? How can we calculate the distance and displacement? So come to the point, distance. First calculate distance. Distance is nothing but arc length AB. Arc length AB. How can we calculate the arc length here? So according to the sector angle formula, angle subtended at the center, angle subtended at the center is equals to general formula arc length by radius. So distance is nothing but the total path followed from A to B, that is arc length AB. So to calculate the arc length, generally sector angle formula, angle subtended at the center is equals to arc length by radius. Angle theta is equals to arc length is nothing but AB divided by radius is r. Let us say it is the radius r. So that's why the distance AB can be written as r theta. In this situation, the distance AB is equals to r into theta. Here the concept, this is the arc length, that is nothing but the distance. How can we calculate distance? The total path. But according to sector angle formula, angle is equals to arc length by radius. So that is angle is equals to theta, arc length is AB divided by r. So the distance AB can be written as r theta. So that is arc length is nothing but r theta. The r theta here. Now, how can we calculate the displacement here? That is important. Displacement. How can you define displacement? Displacement means, see here, this is the situation. Shortest path between A and B. This is the possible shortest path. Displacement is nothing but the shortest path between A and B, and this is the possible shortest path from A to B. So let us forget about this now. Forget about that. Now we have to calculate A to B distance, and it is the angle theta. So for example, and this is r. If you draw the perpendicular here, this perpendicular cuts the angle into two equal angles. If you draw the perpendicular at this position exactly like this, this perpendicular divides this angle into two equal parts, divides that angle into two equal parts. Those angles are here theta by 2 and theta by 2. Those angles are theta by 2 and theta by 2, right? Now this is the perpendicular, this perpendicular divides the angle into two equal parts. The total angle is theta, so this part is theta by 2 and this part is theta by 2. So now we have to calculate displacement. Displacement is A to B shortest path. Let us say it is x and it is x. So that is A to B, that is equals to 2x. The displacement is nothing but, let us say this portion is x and this portion is x. The displacement is nothing but 2x. Okay. Now from, let us say it is O, let us say it is C. From triangle AOC, this is a right angle triangle. From triangle AOC, see here, this is theta by 2 and it is x and it is r. This is triangle AOC. We can write sin theta by 2. What is the sin theta formula? Opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side by hypotenuse. What is opposite side? X. Hypotenuse is r. Here we have to calculate the displacement. The displacement is nothing but this is x and this is x, total is 2x. First we can calculate the value of x. I am considering the triangle AOC. This is the triangle AOC. From the triangle sin theta formula I am writing. Here angle is theta by 2. That's why I am writing theta by 2. Actually sin theta formula is opposite side by hypotenuse. What is opposite side here? X. Hypotenuse is r. That's why. So from this x can be written as r sin theta by 2. X can be written as r sin theta by 2. Therefore, the displacement is equals to 2x, that is equals to 2r sin theta by 2. This is the displacement. The distance is r theta and the displacement is 2r sin theta by 2. 2r sin theta by 2. This is the way to calculate the distance and displacement in different situations. Distance and displacement in different situations. So like this. So got it? Like. So in this situation, this is the arc. This arc is nothing but the radius. Arc is nothing but the distance. Arc is nothing but the distance. So arc length, we got it as from sector angle formula. From sector angle, arc length by radius, we got AB equals to r theta. Next, to calculate the displacement, this is the shortest path between A and B. For that purpose, if you draw the perpendicular here, this perpendicular divides the angle into two equal halves and divides this also into two equal halves, and that's why we call it as x and it is x. The total displacement is 2x. From the right angle triangle, according to the sin theta formula, opposite side by hypotenuse, we got it as displacement is equals to 2r sin theta by 2. Next. So this is about the distance and the displacement and some examples based on that. So some points, remember, some points you have to remember. based on this distance and displacement. And the first point is the distance always greater than or equal to displacement. This is the first point we must remember. Distance must be greater than or equal to displacement. When the so in any curved path, distance must be greater than displacement. But in a straight line path, that means let us say it is A and it is B. Let us say it is 5 meters. In this situation, distance must be equal to displacement. So in a straight line path, the distance must be equal to displacement. In any other situations, distance must be greater than displacement. So that's very important point. So in straight line path, the distance must be equal to displacement. In any other situations, in any other conditions, distance must be greater than displacement. This is the first point we have to remember. So second condition is, in any closed path, displacement must be equal to 0. In any closed path, the displacement of the body must be equal to 0. Next, if the position of the body changes with respect to time, that means if the body is in motion, distance never be equal to 0. If the position of the body changes with respect to time, that means if the body is in motion, the distance of the body never be equal to 0. But the displacement is maybe 0 or may not be 0. So these are the 3 points we have to remember based on this, the distance and displacement. So this last point is, if the position of the body changes with respect to time, that means the body must be in motion. In that situation, the distance never be equal to 0 and the distance is always positive. The distance is always positive and the displacement may be 0, may be non-zero, may be positive, may be negative also. May be positive, may be negative, because the distance is a scalar quantity. But the displacement is a vector. Depending on the direction, the displacement may be positive, may be negative, may be 0. That is the situation. These 3 points we have to remember. This is about the distance and the displacement. Next, come to the terms speed. Next is speed. How can you define speed? Speed and velocity. Just like distance and displacement, here we have the terms speed and velocity. First we can discuss about speed. How can you define speed? So that means the position of the body changes the position of the body changes with respect to time. If the position of the body changes with respect to time, the body must have speed, or simply we can write it as rate of change of distance. Rate of change of distance is also considered as speed. Rate of change of distance, or if the position of the body changes with respect to time, the body must have speed, and it is also defined as rate of change of distance. Rate of change of distance, or so the speed formula can be written as distance by time. Speed is defined as rate of change of distance, or distance travelled by the body per unit time. Distance travelled by the body per unit time, that is also called as speed, or speed can be written as distance by time. Its unit. Distance can be measured in meter, general unit. Time can be measured in second, that is meter per second. The unit of the speed is meter per second. Simply we can write it as meter per second. This is the unit of speed. Speed formula is distance by time. Distance can be measured in meter and time can be measured in second. That's why the unit of the speed is meter per second. And one more thing is, speed is scalar quantity. Speed is the scalar quantity. Scalar quantity means it doesn't have any direction. The speed means, for example, if the vehicle moving with a speed 60 kilometers per hour, that 60 kilometers per hour is nothing but speed. We are not mentioning the direction. It doesn't have any particular direction. So that's why the speed is a scalar quantity. The definition of the speed is distance by time, or the rate of change of distance, and its unit is meter per second, and the speed is a scalar quantity. And we have different types of speed. Constant speed. Constant speed or uniform speed. Constant speed or uniform speed. How can you define constant speed or uniform speed? So that is, let us say, so that means, for example, we are moving on the bike. Let us say the speedometer shows only 50 kilometers per hour continuously. 50 kilometers per hour continuously. That is said to be a constant speed. So that means, how can you define this constant speed? For example, see here, let us say position, this position divides into number of parts like this. This is 5 meter, 5 meter, 5 meter. So the position between A and B, the position between A and B divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions, 5 parts. Each part is 5 meters. So let us say, if the body starts at the point A, if the body starts at the point A, for example, if the body takes 1 second, if the body takes 1 second to travel the distance 5 meters, and here also the body takes 1 second to travel this 5 meters, and here also it takes 1 second to travel this 5 meters, and it is also 1 second, and it is also 1 second. That means, to travel the distance of each 5 meters, if the body takes 1 second, then the body is said to be moving with uniform speed. See here, for the first 5 meter, it takes 1 second. Next 5 meters also 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 1 second. So that means it takes 1 second to travel 5 meters. In each and every case, see here, it divides into 5 positions. each position consists of 5 meters. The time taken to travel from one position to one position in each and every situation is 1 second. Time taken to traveling from each and every position, from this position to this position 1, next 2, so here also 1, here also 1, here also 1, here also 1. So each and every position it takes only 1 second. So that means the body moving with uniform speed or uniform velocity or uniform speed or constant speed. So how can you define this? Means if the body travels equal distances in equal intervals of time, if the body travels equal distances in equal intervals of time, then we can say that the body travels with constant speed or uniform speed. Equal distances in equal intervals of time. See here, these are the equal distances, 5 meter, 5 meter, 5 meter, 5 meter, 5 meter. So to travel the first 5 meter it takes 1 second, next 5 meter also 1 second, next 5 meter also 1 second, here also 1 second, like that. If the body travels equal distances in equal intervals of time, then we can say that is the body moves with constant speed. So next, uniform speed, or the next condition is non-uniform speed. How can you define non-uniform speed? So this is uniform means equal distances in equal intervals of time. Here non-uniform speed means, see here, unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Unequal distances in equal intervals of time, or equal distances in unequal intervals of time, or unequal distances in unequal intervals of time. Like this. So in these three situations, anyone is considered as non-uniform speed. Unequal distances in equal intervals of time, or equal distances in unequal intervals of time, unequal distances in unequal intervals of time. Let us see the example here. Again it is AB. Let us say this divides into parts like this. This is 1 meter, 3 meters, 2 meter. Here also it is 2 meter and again 1 meter. Unequal distances. First part is 1 meter, next 3 meters, next 2 meters, 2 meters, next 1 meter. Unequal parts. Let us say it takes 1 second here, it takes 5 seconds here, it takes let us say 6 seconds here, it takes 3 seconds here, it takes 1 second here. So to travel the distance of 1 meter here it takes 1 second. Next to travel the distance of 3 meters it takes 5 seconds. Next to travel the distance of 2 meters it travels 6 seconds. Next to travel the distance of 2 meters it takes 3 seconds, like that. Unequal distances, unequal intervals of time. This is called non-uniform speed. Uniform means equal distances in equal intervals of time. Non-uniform means unequal distances, unequal, or equal distances, unequal intervals, or unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Anyone is considered as this non-uniform speed. Next, average speed. Next we can discuss about average. We discussed about uniform speed, non-uniform speed. Then average speed. So average speed can be written as, how can you define this? Average speed is, average speed, so it is defined as the ratio of total distance travelled by the body divided by total time. The ratio of the total distance travelled by the body in the total time interval, that is called the average speed. Average speed. Just example, here we can say distance, let us say. How can you define average speed? How can you calculate average speed? So that is total distance by total time. Let us say, for example, the distance between, let us say, so Hyderabad and Nizamabad, let us say it takes 200 kilometers. Let the distance between the Hyderabad and Nizamabad is 200 kilometers. Let us say TSRTC bus. TSRTC bus, it takes, let us say the bus takes 5 hours. 5 hours. Of course, what is the average speed here? How can you calculate the average speed here? So average speed is so total distance by total time. So total distance is 200 kilometers, total time is 5 hours. So that is 40 kilometers per hour. The average speed of the bus is 40 kilometers per hour. This is not mean throughout the 200 kilometers, it does not travels with 40 kilometers per hour. Average speed here. So on the highway, the bus may travel with 80 kilometers per hour. At the time of traffic, it may travel with 20 kilometers per hour or 10 kilometers per hour. Overall, that average speed is nothing but 40 kilometers per hour. So that is defined as average speed. The total distance travelled by the body divided by total time, that is called the average speed. So general example here. So the distance between, let us say, Hyderabad and Nizamabad is 200 kilometers. Let us say the bus takes 5 hours of journey. Then what is the average speed? Total distance by total time, that is 40 kilometers per hour. On the highway, it may travel with 100, maybe 80 or 100, but on an average, it is 40 kilometers per hour. This is average speed. And one more thing is instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed. Instantaneous. What is meant by instantaneous? Instant. In a small interval of time. I want instant result. Instant. So small interval of time, very small interval of time. So that is instantaneous speed means, so the speed of the body or speed of the particle, whatever is, speed of the body in very short interval of time. The speed of the body in very short interval of time, that is called instantaneous speed. Speed of the body in very short interval of time. Then how can you define this? See here. So that is instantaneous speed, that is equals to limit delta t tends to 0. Limit delta t tends to 0. Change in the position divided by change in time. Delta t tends to 0 means that is very small interval of time, maybe less than 1 second, that is nearly equal to 0. Let us say 1 millisecond, 1 microsecond, like that. In that very small interval of time, what is the change in the position of the body? That is called instantaneous speed. So let us say this also can be written as ds by dt. So instantaneous speed can be written as ds by dt. So this is the instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed means the speed of the body in very small interval of time. That means time interval nearly equal to 0. That means less than 1 second, like that, in a very short interval of time. These are types of speed: uniform speed, non-uniform speed, and average speed, instantaneous speed. Next, next condition, velocity. What is meant by velocity? Speed is defined as rate of change of distance. So velocity is defined as the rate of change of displacement. The rate of change of displacement is called velocity. Rate of change of displacement. So simply the definition velocity is defined as, simply we can write it as displacement divided by time. The velocity is defined as, simply we can write it as displacement by time. So velocity is denoted with v and displacement is denoted with s. In our general representation, velocity is denoted with v and displacement is denoted with s divided by time. And here the main condition is velocity is a vector quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity because because displacement is a vector. So vector divided by time, time is a scalar, vector divided by scalar. So velocity is a vector quantity. While mentioning the velocity, we must mention the direction. While defining the speed, no need of direction, but while mention velocity, we must mention the direction of the body. We must mention the direction of the body. So velocity is a vector. And what is the unit it is? Displacement can be measured in meter and time can be measured in second. So that is, it is also meter per second. So that means speed and velocity must have same unit and dimension. Speed and velocity must have the same units and dimension. So that's why velocity is a vector quantity and its unit is meter per second. And here also we have different types, just like the speed: uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, average velocity, and instantaneous velocity. See here, same conditions we have. First, what is meant by uniform? Uniform velocity or constant velocity. Uniform velocity or constant velocity. Just like that, just like the speed. How can you define uniform velocity? Means if the body covers equal displacements, if the body covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, that is called uniform velocity. If the body covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, then we can say that the body moves with uniform velocity. Here the difference between the speed and velocity is, speed is denoted with the distance, but velocity is nothing but displacement. That is the major difference. Here also let us say, so A and B, let us say the distance divides like this: 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. So 1 meter, and it is also 1 meter, like this. equal distances, equal intervals of distances. If the body takes 1 second to travel the distance 1 meter, and here also 1 second, and here also 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Here the displacement is 1 meter, it takes 1 second. Here also 1 meter, it takes 1 second. Here also 1 meter, 1 second. 1 meter, 1 second. 1 meter, 1 second, 1 meter, 1 second, like that. So that is, if the body covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, then we can say that the body travels with uniform velocity. Then what is non-uniform velocity? Non-uniform velocity means if the body travels unequal displacements in equal intervals of time, if the body covers unequal displacements in equal time intervals, if the body covers unequal displacements in equal time intervals, that is called the body moves with non-uniform velocity, or equal displacements in unequal time intervals, or unequal displacements, unequal time intervals. Anyone considered as non-uniform velocity. See here, let us say it is 2 meters, 1 meter, 3 meters, and it is 1.5 meters, let us say. Unequal displacements. Here it takes 2 seconds, here it takes 1 second, here it 5 seconds, here it is again 1 second. Unequal displacements, unequal time intervals. It takes 2 seconds, 1 second, 5 seconds, 1 second, like that. So now in this situation, we can say that body moves with non-uniform velocity. So that is uniform velocity and non-uniform velocity. Next, one more two terms we have: average velocity and instantaneous velocity. So average velocity. So average velocity is defined as V average, is defined as the total displacement of the body, in the total time interval. The ratio of total displacement to total time is called average velocity. V average can be written as S total divided by T total. So this is called average velocity, and we can do the example now. Let us say first to discuss about instantaneous. What is instantaneous velocity? Similarly, the velocity of the body, just like the speed, so velocity of the body in very short interval of time, velocity of the body in very short interval of time, that is called instantaneous velocity. Here also V instantaneous can be written as limit delta t tends to 0, same delta s by delta t, that is can be written as ds by dt. Delta t tends to 0, that is a very, very small interval of time, that is less than 1 second, like that. So that is instantaneous velocity, just like speed only, but velocity is a vector and the speed is the scalar. These are the terms. Now do an example here. Let us say example. Previously we did this example. semicircular path. The person is moving in a semicircular path from A to B. Here, person moving in a circular path. If the person completes half circle in the time 5 seconds, whose radius is 10 meters. If the person moving in a circular path, the person completes half circle in the time of 5 seconds, the radius of the circle is 10 meters. Here the find average velocity and average speed. Average velocity and average speed. First we can calculate average velocity. Average velocity. So we average. How can you define it? Is total displacement by total time. Total displacement by total time. So what is the possible displacement here? Possible displacement from A to B. From A to B in a particular direction. Total displacement is nothing but diameter of the circle divided by total time. The radius is given as 10, the time is 5, so that is 4 meters per second. 2 into 10, because the radius is given as 10, in the time interval of 5 seconds. In the 5 seconds only, the person travelling from A to B, whether it is the distance or the displacement, the time interval must be same. From here to here, it takes 5 seconds. To move this displacement or to move this distance, the time interval must be same. So that's why 2 r by t, 2 into 10 by 5, that is 4 meters per second. That is average velocity. Then how can we calculate average speed? How can we calculate average speed? See here, average speed. Average speed can be written as total distance by, average speed is total distance by total time. So the total distance is, if the person completes the half circle means half of the circumference of the circle, that is pi r by t. Pi into r is 10 divided by time is 5, 2 pi, and the pi value is 22 by 7, that is 44 by 7. So approximately nearly 7 6 are 42, 6.3 approximately, 6.3 meters per second. This is the average speed, but average velocity is 4 meters per second and average speed is 6.3 meters per second. From this we can say that average speed always greater than or equal to average velocity. Average speed is always greater than or equal to average velocity. So when these two are greater than or equal to, when these two are equal means in a straight line path, average speed must be equal to average velocity. In all other situations, average speed must be greater than average velocity. So this is speed and its velocity and its speed, 4 types: uniform speed, non-uniform speed, average speed, instantaneous speed. And in the same way, velocity also 4 times: uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, average velocity, instantaneous velocity. And how to calculate the average speed and average velocity like this.